Welcome, everybody. Dad Sumash podcast. We're back at it.
That's right. We're back, baby.
I did. I just gave in and did. I'm in the guest room now. My wife saw the clips from our last podcast, was mortified that you could see like our bedroom in the background. And I ordered a banner, like a background banner, and I got the frame for it, but like the banner is still printing and shipping. So in the meantime,
Nice.
Here I am in the spare room with the digital background instead. And like you said last week, with like the little space in between the headphones, that doesn't change, but it is what it is, I guess. It's all good.
Yeah, my wife, her feedback was, why is the camera so close to your face? And I was like, what are you trying to say? Like, you don't like my face?
Dude,
and she's like, no, she's so zoomed in on you.
It's better that way. It's better. That's why I had the opposite reaction. I was like, why is mine so far away? We don't need to see this much of my room. Yours looks pretty professional.
That's what I thought, but okay, whatever.
I mean, she's probably right. What do we know? But,
exactly.
So, anyways, we're doing the best we can here.
That's right.
What do they want from us? Dude, welcome everybody. Good to have everybody here. Good to be back. Another week, another episode. We got a lot of things to cover and a short amount of time to do it because school decided to give the kids a half day. Actually, this week, our kids have 3 days in a row that are half days, which is so dumb. If you're going to have a day and a half of school, make it have one full day on Wednesday, then a half day on Thursday, and then nothing Friday. But
I'm with you. The schools do the craziest kind of scheduling.
Yeah.
Literally, my wife and I woke up this morning, and the kids don't have school. So
did you know?
Well, no, we didn't. And then one of the kids is like, we don't have school today. And Madison goes, what do you mean we don't have school?
Yeah.
And then so we kind of scramble, and they're like, oh, it's on Class Dojo. So we pull up Class Dojo. We're scrolling through. There's gazillions of posts. I don't know if you guys use that.
Yep.
Every single teacher is posting hundreds of things. The school's posting things. There's dress up days. There's all that. And then hidden in there somewhere, like, no school Friday, service day. Seriously?
Yep. We were having this whole, my wife and I have this whole beef now with the way school is done, because it's like every teacher uses a different website.
Exactly.
Like you got to learn as the parent. You got to learn. So there's like 4 different websites I got to learn how to do, because one math teacher uses this, school uses this. You find grades here. It's just send a note home and have the kids lose it in their backpack or on the way home, like the good old days. But
yeah, and apps for sports teams are a thing too.
Yep.
So I have 3 kids, 3 different sports, 3 different apps for all those sports. They all have crazy ads on them. They're all trying to sell me things.
Of course.
They all want you to sign up for premium to get rid of the ads. You're like, come on. I just want to know when our game is this Saturday.
I know. Just tell me. Just shoot me a text. Give me a call. We got beef with that. We got beef with satellite radio. We were talking about that last week. Dude, I was laughing so hard at what you said, just like to myself, because I was thinking, like, you're right. There's like 4 or 5 different quote unquote heavy music stations on XM Sirius radio. And I usually don't, it's like once a day I hear something that's like, oh, this is a cool song. But most of the time, man, I'm like, I am so tired of this. I'm so tired of it. Like you telling me this is heavy music.
Yeah, same thing. Our car has it, and I looked into it one time. Apparently, there's some other channels that you can get if you use the app or something.
Oh.
It, pre-programmed it to your car, and depending on how old it is, there's different. Anyways, yeah, there's 3 I think I have set, and I'll flip between them.
Yep.
Most of the time, there's nothing on any of them.
Yeah.
So we've got liquid metal. Right?
Yep.
With that kind of hair metal, maybe old Megadeth, Metallica.
100%. Yeah.
And yeah, like Enter Sandman hits every now and then.
Sure,
but come on,
I know.
And then you've got Turbo.
And see, I haven't listened to Turbo. I haven't seen that one. That's gonna be one I gotta check out.
So find Turbo. Turbo's your dad rock, your new metal.
Mm-hmm.
They play a lot of Limp Bizkit, Disturbed, the stuff that got us started.
I was going to say, the gateway drug for heavy music. Gateway bands.
And then the last one, what's the last one? Octane.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, and that's like your rock. You're like radio rock right now.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. And I'll hear, like, every once in a while, I'll hear, like, Knocked Loose on Octane. And I'll love Knocked Loose to the day I die. It's something I'm going to have to talk about on this podcast one day. It's all the hate that Knocked Loose gets and how it's unjustified. But Yeah, every once in a while I'll hit, or like, secretly, like Bad Omens has kind of turned into that band that I make fun of, but like one of their songs will come on, I'm like, well, I guess we'll just leave it on and see what comes on next. But
and that's what it is. It's like, okay, if there's nothing else, I'll put it on
Exactly. I don't hate it. Like, I don't want to turn it off immediately or drive in silence. Like, I don't know what's worse. Dude, I was thinking,
Exactly.
We were talking about XM radio, and I like thought of this story. So like years ago, I worked at this tattoo shop, and there was a guy at the tattoo shop, one of the artists, who was just like, such an artist, right? Such a tattoo artist, like super moody all the time. Like, would get really mad about certain tattoos he'd have to do. They didn't want to do all this stuff. He and I always got along really great, but like days that he was in a bad mood, it was so funny because he would get so angry. And we had Sirius radio back then, and this was like 2007, 2008.
Yes.
And the owner of the shop only wanted to listen. There was like a Kiss radio station. He loved it, dude. Could not get enough of like Kiss and everybody that sounded like Kiss. And I freaking hate Kiss. I like hate all of that type of music, dude. And so he only ever wanted to listen to, it was like Kiss, Black Sabbath. I was like, dude, get out of here. Like, I can listen to this like for 5 minutes. So then instead of like, and then like when he wasn't around, we try to listen to like, like liquid metal, but nobody wanted to listen to that. We would listen to like the Lithium station, like 90s alternative. I was like, okay, I can do this at least. But then because everybody was just like constantly complaining about the music, he bought an iPod, right? So because it's 2007, so he bought an iPod, let everybody put like 2 or 3 albums on the iPod, and then would just put it on, turn it on shuffle.
Perfect.
And I had a couple of hardcore albums, like more like punk hardcore albums on there. And I remember at the time, because we were talking about Frank Carter last week too, I had a Gallows album on there. I think it was Orchestra of Wolves. And this guy, Scott, the artist, he hated it so much. Like, he hated the screaming. He would get so mad. And I'll bleep this part out because but I got to tell this story. We'll keep it family friendly. But dude, I remember one time I was upstairs and he was downstairs in his like tattooing somebody, and I already knew he was in a bad mood, and one of my songs came on, like a Gallows song came on, and I would just like held my breath, and like from upstairs I just hear this guy who's tattooing like some girl, he's just
what's
like
coming,
like runs over to the thing, rips the iPod out, and just like tosses it. Like, that was it. That was the end of it.
And it was back to Sirius radio. It
was back to Sirius radio after that, dude. It was. I laughed so good. Yeah, so great.
That's
but
so good.
It's still around. I mean, Sirius XM radio. I'm always surprised that it's still a thing. There's a whole lot of commercials that I thought like the whole point was don't have commercials, but there's a lot of commercials on it now.
Yeah. Don't get me started. They said the same thing about Netflix. They said the same thing about all these streaming services that all have commercials now. So
I know
whatever.
Everything has commercials. But yeah, dude, you gotta.
Speaking of tattoo parlors,
I was gonna say, segue.
Yeah. So yesterday I went and saw my guy Dave Quiggle.
Yeah.
I got some new ink on the arm. It's like
nice.
It's like fresh.
Yeah,
so
it
still,
is.
Yeah. So I'm excited about it.
That's awesome.
He's the best. He people down here call him the Mr. Rogers of metalcore.
Nice.
Because he's just the nicest guy. He just super nice, down to earth. We were talking music. He was asking me about most recent shows and my next shows coming up. He was a member of NIV for a while, No Innocent Victim. So he played with them. And he was talking about them. They just played at Hellfest.
Yeah. Saw that.
And they're playing in a couple weeks, opening up for Undertaking. Not opening up, probably headlining that. They're
Vice
playing
versa.
with Undertaking.
Yeah.
And Meadows is coming from Alabama. So shout out Meadows. Love those guys too.
Awesome.
That'll be a fun show. So I don't even think tickets are up for sale yet, but it's playing at this little brewery in town here, which will be cool. So
That's cool. Yeah, I'd love to see No Innocent Victim. Yeah, we were joking about, that's how a band signed to Face Down Records is they had Dave Quiggle cover art. So
He's such a legend. I didn't realize it when you start digging around on his Instagram page. Here's another Dave Quiggle story. I was at Disneyland with my family. I know you guys are going, and this makes me sound more bougie than I am, but we stayed at the Disneyland Resort.
Wow.
I know. And some of his art is in the hotel there.
Yes. I was going to say, I
he's
saw
got
that
Disneyland art.
Yeah, he did that.
So,
and he did a poster for a Metallica show there too that was really cool, and I think
Yes.
they used it
They
for
did
the event
on their tour, on their most recent Metallica tour. So he's got so much street cred. I think Blink-182 has done stuff.
Wow.
He's just in that world. He does great art. So
that's cool, man.
It's super cool.
One of my good buddies here, he's got a Dave Quiggle piece on his neck actually, and that was like one of the ways we connected. He was wearing a Knocked Loose shirt, and you could recognize Dave Quiggle. It's pretty, it's pretty recognizable. So, yeah, that's cool, man. That's cool. How was it getting tattooed like right there?
It wasn't
on
bad.
The forearm. It's not too bad. Yeah.
No, it wasn't too bad. I was more annoyed like with the position I had to sit in, because you're like back. I was laying on my stomach and kind of like in a jujitsu position. Like it wasn't the tattoo itself. It was just like my arm, my fingers are going numb. And so.
We're too old for that nowadays.
I know, exactly. Give me like a couch or something.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
But
that's not a bad idea.
I will say I did not take any numbing lotion, and I did not take. I did not get knocked out. So
that's right.
Yeah.
You earned that. I get so
Take
many
notes,
ads
kids.
on. That's right. I get so many ads on Instagram about numbing cream and stuff like that. And there is a part of me, because I've been talking to my artist about doing my back at some point, and I've just heard the back is brutal. So I'm like, maybe I just wouldn't tell him. Maybe I'm like, hey man, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick, and then just like, but I can't get like my whole back. How would I like? I'm like, how do I gonna go like find somebody out on the street, like, hey, come in here real quick, like rub my back.
Someone in the alley, like, hey, guy, get
some
over
homeless guy, I'll give you $10.
Yeah, you'd probably do it.
Put numbing lotion on my back. No, my back. So,
oh, that's so funny. Oh, I would if I used it, I would absolutely hide it. There's no way I'm telling Dave.
Totally.
Okay, Dave, real quick, let me put this on.
This isn't that bad at all.
Yeah. Oh, it's so funny.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Really appreciate everybody, the feedback just on everything, people engaging on Instagram, YouTube, Spotify. Jesse got a little bit of flack, it sounds like, from your Spotify pick. What's going on with that?
Oh, no, I put it on YouTube. We did some YouTube shorts. We've just been throwing it everywhere, see where it sticks.
Yeah.
Playing with different captions, playing with different watermarks, whatever. And I threw it up on YouTube as, hey, my Spotify pick, the most influential song I could think of is Nerdy by Poison the Well.
Yeah.
And it got like 4 upvotes and 6 downvotes or something. I was so surprised. Like, are you kidding me?
Funny.
So, yeah.
Like, boo. Some people just really don't like Poison the Well. I guess so. People are review bombing Poison the Well. What's their beef with Poison the Well, man?
Yeah.
That's funny. Talked a little bit about upcoming shows. Last week we talked about Sleeping Giant. You're going to go?
Yeah, man. I think they announced it last week last week. We saw a teaser. And so I've got a couple of dads here that we go to shows together. We got the group chat, and everyone's freaking out about it. And so as soon as they announced the details, we pulled the trigger. We knew this one was going to sell out quick. Just legends in the area, legends in the scene. We talked about how much respect those guys have.
Yeah.
So, and then more stuff has come out. They're doing 2 nights, and they're doing different album playthrough each night. So it'll be a good time.
Very cool. I know a buddy of mine that I met when we lived in Hawaii. He lives in Texas now. He's like, dude, are you going to go to the Sleeping Giant shows? I was like, man, I don't know. I was like, I'm kind of waiting to see who the openers are going to be. But I was like, I'm making a trip to California already this year for Sound and Fury. I was like, I don't know if I can swing too, but we'll see. We'll see. Desmadre I put here. They're going on tour. I love Desmadre. The only problem I have, and I've talked about this on the podcast before, is they're opening for Spirit World. I can't get into Spirit World. If you guys are unaware of Spirit World, it's like metalcore. It's like hardcore, I guess. But they all dress in like, I don't know, like cowboy outfit, but like they dress up. It's gimmicky. I can't get into it, man. That's like, even this week, I was going to be like, oh, a new release. There's this band called The Gloom in the Corner. I don't know if you've ever listened to those guys, but it's like every single one of their albums is a concept album. And it's like, I don't understand it. It's all like this post-apocalyptic, like characters and stuff in these songs. It's like it's like metalcore for, people that are, into anime, which it's like, I'm not dogging on anime, but it's like just the vibes. And I'm just like, dude, I can't. Every single music video, everybody's dressed up in these weird, like steampunk outfits. And I'm just like, I don't know. I don't like the gimmicks. I don't know everything's gimmicky to like, whether you're wearing outfits or you're wearing like a band shirt, like everybody wears band shirts, but I don't know, man. It's like that one. And I talked last week about the Drain one. Like that's going to be, or a couple weeks ago, it's going to be at the Marquee. It's like, sometimes there's really good bands, but it's like either the rest of the ticket or the venue almost like kills it for me. I don't know.
Yeah, I totally understand. One of my friends I have here that goes to shows, it doesn't matter who's playing, he will not go to the Observatory in Orange County. He just hates the venue. It could be his favorite band. He's like, nope, not going there. I hate the venue. Funny. And I've been there, and it's not the best, but he's just kind of picky on that one, and so we give him a hard time about it, but I get it.
Yeah. Well, and I've been complaining about like, oh, Drain and Haywire, they're playing at the Marquee Theater in Tempe, Arizona. It's not the best, it's like a big venue. It's not, there's a barrier, all that stuff. But because of some recent developments and other shows that I'm not going to make it to that we may talk about later today, I may actually just like bite the bullet and go to that show just so I've got something coming up, because got a few other shows that are killer shows that I will not be at for different reasons. So yeah. But you got tickets. Actually, you've got tickets for one of those shows. I guess that we can talk about it here because that's a big one.
Yeah, so this week, this is a big week for me. I got Sleeping Giant purchased, and then just yesterday I got the pre-sale code. I hopped on, and then I got tickets to see Terror with Pain of Truth, and they're playing up in Pomona. I was very excited about that one. And I know you can't go. I feel bad. I almost feel bad talking about it and how excited I am for it.
Dude, I got the notification like on my phone that they were coming to the Nile Theater here in Mesa, which is just, again, it's like my favorite venue. And I was in the bathroom at this coffee shop. I got to my car, and the whole way I'm like, please be on a day I can go. Please be on a day I can go. Please be on a day I can go. And I open up, and it's May 9th. And I don't want it to sound like I'm complaining, because I'm not. My wife and I, it has been like years since we've gotten away with just the two of us. We live down in Arizona. We don't have family around. So it's like, we don't get away. And I bought her tickets to go see Florence and the Machine, which I'm excited to see Florence and the Machine. I like Florence and the Machine. Mannequin Pussy is opening up for them. I really like those guys. So we're going to go. We're going to like spend the night in Phoenix. My parents are going to be down here, so they'll take care of the kids. It's May 9th. It's like the night. It's not even like, and then like on top of that, the Converge and Poison the Well show is like a couple days later, I think.
Yeah.
But it's the same week that my parents are here. And I'm like, she's like,
and you have tickets to that one, right?
I do. And it was like $50 for that show.
I know.
She's like, oh, you're just going to leave me with your parents? I'm like, oh, I don't know now. So it's like, I may end up missing both of those shows. So it's okay. Yeah. It's okay. It's all right. We'll survive.
I get it. I can just relate so much. The same thing happens. You see these shows, and a lot of times they're way out in advance, so you buy the tickets, and then other stuff happens.
Yep.
Or there's that awkward dancing around. Hey, sorry, can't do this family thing because Jesse wants to go to a hardcore show. It's like, how old are you?
I know.
So we have a family calendar that we share, and we put dates on it. Google Calendar, kind of corporate work style. Yep. It works really good. Then we kind of claim dibs on different nights. Yep. But no, totally. I mean, it's just part of being a dad who moshes.
It is.
And those priorities. And
Yep.
It sucks. I was telling you, I had this one I was so salty about.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think I blocked it out on purpose. But there was some show I really wanted to go to.
Yeah.
And all the other guys were going to it, which also makes it worse. You get that FOMO.
Yeah.
And it was bands, it was venues, everything. And it's like Jackson had a hockey game. I was like, and they're like, well, you don't have to go. It's okay. Like you've seen all of them, but you're okay. I'm not going to miss this. I'm not going to be that guy.
Yeah.
So we go to the game and he lost 10-0, and it's like he didn't even play that much, and so it just made it so much worse. I was so salty. And
I know.
like, oh, my friends at this and then I'm thinking, like, do I still have time? Can I catch up the last set or something?
I know.
Yeah.
Because I was even like, man, if it was any other night,
yes,
I could be like, I could still go, because there's a bunch of bands that, like, I would love to see End It, because I haven't seen End It. I still haven't seen Pain of Truth. So it's like I could miss the first couple of openers, maybe like hang out with my parents, put them to bed early or something like that, and then like sneak away.
Yeah.
But it's all right. It's going to be good. That's the thing. It's like,
totally.
It's not like I'm going to be sitting around thinking like, oh man, maybe I could have figured a way like to do this. I would much rather, for anybody that's listening, that's like, wow, what a jerk. I would much rather spend the night with my wife, hang out with her, than even go see Terror at the Nile with Pain of Truth and End It. So maybe still, I just keep holding out for Sound and Fury. Like, we did the Sound and Fury lineup, at least the initial announcement. I know there's going to be more. I feel like it's going to be some big bands. Who knows? We may see all of those bands at Sound and Fury, because it's not around the same time. But so we'll see. Speaking of bands, this week, the band that I wanted to bring up, it's they're certainly not a new band, but they are a band that is growing in popularity. But I'm just like, I'm waiting for these guys to really pop off. I love these guys. I talked about them last week. I talk about them all the time, but I feel like everybody needs to know this band. This band is No Cure. Again, not super new, and a lot of people know about them, but it's like they're gaining popularity. I think they just need to gain more. Alabama, straight edge, hardcore. It's just like, it's angry. It's gym music. It's what I listen to every single day when I go to the gym. When I don't know what else to listen to, I throw on No Cure. It's just like, it's unrelenting. It's as heavy as you want it to be, in a world where it's just like bands are going softer and softer. Or when you're tired of clean vocals or whatever it is, throw on No Cure. You'll be angry in no time. It's awesome. The first time I saw No Cure, they were the opener for Acacia Strain. There was like 5 bands on the ticket. These guys were the opener. They played at the Nile. There were sound issues to start the show, so they started 15-20 minutes late, and they're so nice. They're like, do you want us to just do like a few songs? And the venue, they're like, nah, just play your whole set. And they killed it, dude. They're the nicest people. If you haven't heard of them, I mean, this is like, if you like Acacia Strain, if you like Jesus Piece, Year of the Knife, so good. I saw those guys. I didn't actually see them play at Furnace Fest. They did like a straight edge show, like one of the pre Furnace Fest shows or something like that. I think they headlined that one, but they were just all over at Furnace Fest. You could see the band members. The vocalist Blythe, he hopped on with Orthodox for their set at Furnace Fest, did Matt McDougall's part from Boundaries in the song Blend In With the Weak. He hopped on stage with Gideon for their song Cursed, sang Brian's part from Knocked Loose, and then they actually did a collab with the guy from Gideon on a song on one of their latest albums. Their guitarist Aesop, she actually hopped on and did vocals, like guest vocals with Foundation on one of their songs, which I love too, because No Cure covered Foundation's song Purple Heart for Straight Edge Day a while back, so they're big fans of those guys. And I just like the guest vocals they have are awesome. They had the guy from Gideon on a song that's so much heavier than anything Gideon will ever do. My favorite though is they have a song called Your Children Will Drown in the Burning River, and they brought back Matthew Hastings from My Children, My Bride. Did you ever listen to My Children, My Bride?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So they haven't been around for forever, but they brought him out of retirement to just do this sick track on that album. So I love No Cure. Go check them out. I think they're headed out on tour either now or soon with Cattle Decapitation. So it's like they can fit in anywhere. They're going to do Sound and Fury. That's like mostly hardcore. Cattle Decapitation is like dark deathcore. Yeah. They can fit in anywhere. Super good people. So yeah, check out No Cure if you haven't already.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'll have to give them another spin.
Yeah.
You talk about them all the time. They'll come up in my recommended or whatever, and I dig their stuff, but I need to go give them a solid listen.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Cool. So my band that I wanted to highlight this week, this is a San Diego hardcore band that I saw them open for a couple of different bands at the local venue here, Brick by Brick. They do all kinds of stuff local. And they're kind of taken off a little bit, I think. I hope so. They should be taken off. This is a band's called Hereditary. So what I love about them is they have that old school sound. It's young kids, new band. I think their first one came out in 2025, maybe late 24. But they sound like a Terror or a Trapped Under Ice. They've got that kind of, New York old school hardcore sound, and they just bring it. They bring a fun show. I really dig them. They also kind of went viral recently. They did this show with Big Boy at this tiny little venue down here in San Diego. The pictures were just insane. Had serious FOMO. They played in this tiny little shed thing. Just looked like such a fun time.
Yeah.
Shout out San Diego hardcore. I love finding local bands. There's something that's cool when you live in an area and they're from there and you have this kind of shared. I don't know what it is.
For sure.
But go check them out. They're really cool. They're very young, very new. They don't have a lot of subscribers, so catch them all on their way up.
Awesome, love it. Yeah, dude. What's going on? Let's see. We've got some festival stuff, I guess. Some festival things to talk about.
Yeah. Maybe. Okay. So maybe let me take this one because I wanted to ask you, let me start with the question. What are your general thoughts on big, massive music festivals? And the reason I ask this is, I'll kind of lump all these into one.
Yeah.
Sharon Osbourne announced this week that they're going to bring back Ozzfest.
Yeah.
I don't know if you ever went to Ozzfest, but it's big in that kind of like dad rock scene. And, I know some of the bands I liked used to play there, but the festival itself was never my scene. Then they also announced this same week that When We Were Young is going away, at least taking a pause.
Yeah.
So Ozzfest comes back, that goes away. Warped Tour is back for a second year in a row. I'm going to that. It's not that it's all my favorite bands, but it's local. It's on my birthday. Madison, I'm going to take my wife with me. She rarely goes to shows, so that'll be a fun.
Yeah.
And then the last one, I'm lumping all these in that we could talk about, is Aftershock. So they also announced Aftershock, and Aftershock has, I would listen to every band there. I mean, they've got some dad rock on the head, but it's hundreds of bands that are awesome, and a lot of hardcore and a lot of metalcore, some bucket list bands I've wanted to see. But I don't know. I think it's a 4-day festival. And it's just so jam-packed.
Yeah.
So my question is, have you ever been to those big, massive ones? What do you think about it?
Yeah. And I really haven't. I mean, I think I said last week, I went to Warped Tour when it was in Bozeman, Montana years ago, which really wasn't, it was like a weird version of Warped Tour. Not a ton of people. Other than that, the biggest festival I've ever been to was Furnace Fest. And I think even going into Furnace Fest, I was like, is this going to be too big? I don't know if I'm going to like this. And I loved it. The whole vibe of it, I loved. But that was about as big as I think I'd ever want to go. And I kind of the lineups are amazing. But I don't know. It's like, if you are a big band, if you're, some of the massive names that they have on Aftershock and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which I haven't, I know I've passed through it, but they usually have bands like Tool and Megadeth and
Limp Bizkit.
Massive rock bands.
Yeah.
But then, you look at all the, the side stages, and it's like a Furnace Fest shed stage lineup. It's sick. I would love to go to it. But I think for me, and I don't know, I maybe one day I'll go to one and actually know for sure. But part of me is it's almost just too overwhelming with all the big bands.
Mm-hmm.
But then it's all the little bands that I really want to see. It's I could just go see them at the Nile. I don't have to pay hundreds of dollars to, also see Deftones, which I love Deftones, but it's I don't know. I almost kind of want to separate my big name bands and my little name bands, and let the smaller bands keep the more DIY feel, and then the big bands have the big stages, and just enjoy that for what it is, and the production and the sound and the visuals and all that. So I don't know. I don't know if that really answers the question, but that's kind of my take on it, I guess.
No, absolutely. I mean, I am in a similar boat. So biggest I've been to was Warped Tour last year, and it was massive.
Yeah.
They had so many stages. I think it was 8 stages. They put, 2 stages by each other, and they had 4 of those, all the way from like massive, Rise Against playing and just top radio rock, all the way down to like Make Them Suffer, deathcore playing on. Yeah. And so the idea of it, I love it. I look at Aftershock and I think, how cool would it be? You pay one price, you get to see every band. But logistically, you can't see every band. And that was my experience at Warped Tour. You had to make these, like, okay, do I want to see Comeback Kid, who I've seen before, and I've seen him at Brick by Brick, and I've been stepped on, in the front of the... or do I want to like go over and watch Sublime with their new lead singer, and totally different vibes, different feel? Do I want to go with Madison to go see Red Jumpsuit Apparatus, which I could care less, but she loves? Or, am I going to go over to this like small pit that? So, and you just have to make those decisions. You can't build your own. And with Aftershock, it would be the same. Obviously, they have these headliners at the very end. But a lot of times, me and you are in the same boat where the headliners aren't even who I want to see.
Exactly.
So, my take on it is I love the idea of it. I look at that Aftershock lineup and I'm like, I would go to every single one. There's also, this is going to sound so lame, there's also that fatigue factor, right? Where I go to one show with 4 bands, I can go all out and have a blast.
100%.
You go to a 4-day festival, like at Furnace Fest, we literally had to pace ourselves. I had to pace myself because year 1 I couldn't walk on day 3. We bought chairs. We were pounding Advil. And that was 3 days and shorter days, I think.
Right.
And really 2 stages we're hopping back and forth, I don't know. I think it sounds so lame, but as we're talking about dads who mosh, like logistically, I don't know if I could do 4 days or enjoy 4 days.
Gotta take a week off after that just to recover, bro.
Get an IV and a masseuse or something. I don't know.
And it is cool to see that, like, it's cool to see live music. It's cool to see these big festivals are still happening. And it's like, you see a ton of like really good bands that are there. So I am glad to see that for sure. And if you didn't have any other responsibilities in the world, you had all the money, to spend on shows, and you're like, sure, I'll go to Aftershock. Like, exactly. Of course. But it's like, at this point in life, if I had to choose between that, and going to, Terror at the Nile.
Yes. No. Exactly. Yeah. No, that is exactly it. I would, at this point in my life, I would take Terror at the Glass House in Pomona over a 4-day Aftershock festival.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, for sure, man. I guess we should apologize to Caleb Shomo for deleting his official Instagram. Just kidding.
It's our fault.
That's right. We didn't say anything mean to Caleb. We just said we didn't really like the new Beartooth song. But I guess he
had a rough week.
Sounds like
because
it.
That was only a week ago.
Yeah.
I only mentioned it because it popped up in my Spotify as new song, and I follow Beartooth because of their old stuff, and I've kind of stopped listening to them. But because I follow them or whatever, they popped up. Gave it a listen. I was like, it sounds like all the new baddiecore that we talked about. It sounds like your Bad Omens or Sleep Token or Devil Wears Prada.
Yeah,
but where he got torn apart, and I hadn't even seen this, was his music video. Did you watch it?
No, I didn't. I think I saw like clips or like stills and stuff because it was, it was news on my feed, but
yeah. Well, so the story goes even a little bit further. I've seen other things pop up on Instagram. So, he puts out this very zesty, as the kids would say, music video with a crop top and leather and lots of makeup. And he's gyrating and so he gets torn apart. The kids these days are brutal. They're like back to like 90s kids.
Oh, yeah. Brutal.
And so he gets torn apart. So then very quickly he deletes his Instagram all the way. So everyone's kind of like, well, he's taking it the wrong way. Yeah. And then the guy from Atreyu kind of came after him and bullied
Attila,
him. And said
right? It was the guy.
Attila.
Yeah, Attila. Yeah.
Well, and so then the fans kind of like started backing Caleb, and they've kind of been going after him. So there's just been some drama there, and
I know it's crazy. They were going after. Read some stuff. They were going after like his family members. I mean, that's wild to me. It's like
it is wild.
It's like the mob mentality. You watch a guy do a music video, you don't like that music video, so like you go after his family is nuts.
Yeah, I got an idea. Let's go make fun of his wife.
Seriously,
like, come on.
That's nuts. Yeah, people will go do research, figure out who your family is, and then like make fun of. It's crazy. It's crazy, man. Yeah, so I mean, whatever, whether I like the music or not, that's not, not to get too sappy, but that's never what the hardcore scene's about, man. Like, sure, you can say they sold out, you can say the music sucks now, like whatever, who cares? Like, this scene has always been about expression, about acceptance, 100%. Letting people do, so it's just, I'm not down with that, just because,
Absolutely.
you don't like it doesn't mean to go after somebody or their family. That's insane to me.
Well, and the best argument that I saw is, have you ever seen a Kiss video or David Bowie or any of those rock stars?
Exactly. That was like the whole thing when Bad Bunny was, doing the Super Bowl halftime show, and that was the meme. Like, boomers, when they hear Bad Bunny, might wear a dress, but then it's like what they listen to, and it's Kiss and makeup and like all of this. It's like all these hair metal bands from the 80s, they all wore makeup. So I don't know. Pick a lane.
Yeah. The last one on our news that I really wanted to talk about. So when I was at Warped Tour last year, we were on our way out the last night. We're headed to the cars. Everyone's tired. And there's this band that set up shop on top of their van, parked it out right as everyone's coming out, and they're playing. And everyone is videotaping. They're like, it's the after party, and they're this big crowd. It's stopped traffic. And, we took video. We're taking pictures next to it. We just thought it was the most, like, awesome. rock and roll thing ever, Yeah,
punk rock, yeah.
And so those guys get arrested, and I don't know if they spend the night in jail. I don't know, but I know they get arrested. And they just announced this week that band, shout out Who Cares, band out of L.A., is playing at the Long Beach Warped Tour this week.
Dude,
year,
I love that. I love it. You got to give a shout out to Kevin Lyman for keeping the spirit of punk rock alive, man. I love that so much. More bands need to do that. Yeah. Totally. That was like the band Silly Goose. Did you ever listen to
Exactly.
Yeah,
I was
playing in like subways
too.
and gas stations.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
I love Silly Goose. They're so fun.
Yeah. No, I love it. Some new music. This one, again, I'm a little behind, so these guys put their album out a couple of weeks ago, but the one I picked this week is by a band called Killing Pace. Their album is called HCPM. Like I said, it came out a couple of weeks ago. Some of the members of this band are from Division of Mind, which, if you never listened to Division of Mind, got to go check out Division of Mind. I was listening to Randy Blythe from Lamb of God was on the Hard Lord podcast a while back, and they asked him to list his top 4 hardcore albums, and I can't remember. I know he listed like Hatebreed and a couple more, but then he listed Division of Mind on there. So just like kind of Hatebreedy, kind of hardcore, that like metallic hardcore, but super heavy. Killing Pace's album, super chuggy breakdowns. There's some guitar solos in there that are a little more like thrash, but it fits really well with the sound. I feel like they do stay really true to those hardcore roots, though, even when they kind of like go into like more like metal and thrash. They definitely have some songs that's just like all 2-step, circle pit parts. Love it. Check them out if you're fans of bands like Scarab. I mentioned No Cure, Mask, bands like that. Really dig Killing Pace and the new stuff they're putting out.
Yeah, I dig it. I'll have to go check it out. I'm not super familiar, so. Okay, so for my new album EP that I saw, it was Bodysnatcher. So these guys, they're definitely more on the deathcore side, but I love their deathcore sound because they also get really 2-steppy and they're fun. And their shows are fun. They're violent, but I really like them.
So fun.
But anyways, their old stuff is awesome. Go check out their old stuff. But they've got a new album that they've announced. That one, I think it's called Hell Is Here. And then they put, they've been doing what everybody's doing now, kind of slowly rolling out doing the singles. So they have a new one, Violent Obsession. It's just cool.
Yeah.
It's fun. I like it. We've
Tons
talked
of
a lot
fun.
about gym music.
Yeah.
I set like 10 PRs listening to Bodysnatcher. You
Yes,
know, it just
yes.
gets you going.
So great. Have you
I'm
watched?
excited about it.
Yeah, their lead singer, he does on Instagram when they go out on tour, he'll do the mosh call videos. So funny, man. The best one was what's a mosh call? So that he does it at the show right before the breakdown. It's great.
Oh yeah, we'll have to share one of those on our Instagram.
For sure.
They're so good. Yeah,
So great.
Well, and I'm trying to figure out, who is he interviewing in these? Is he interviewing people that are going to his show?
I think so.
Okay.
But I think a lot of times it just like catches people off guard and they don't know what to say, and he'll just take whatever the first thing is that they say. It's great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so funny. He seems like a really funny, cool guy too.
Yeah. That's the thing too. It's like another one of those bands. Yeah, music's super heavy, shows are violent, super nice dudes. Like when if you hang out and talk with them after the show, super nice dudes. So
I cannot remember the name of the band, but we saw it was Bodysnatcher and Spite were co-headlining, and they had so heavy deathcore, and they had somebody open for him who kind of had to set the bar, but like that's a really high bar to set.
Yeah,
and he comes out to the microphone and he opens up their set with, "The first person to knock someone unconscious, I'll give you a free T-shirt." And then they just go into it.
Yeah.
And so everyone in the pit kind of looks around like, is he kidding? Is he serious?
Yeah.
It was so wild. I don't think anyone got knocked unconscious, but it was just like everyone, like for a moment, was kind of like, I don't know if he's kidding or not.
Right.
You know?
If you and I ever go to a show and somebody says that, we got to just like pretend.
Yeah.
And like pretend to like one of us pretends to knock the other one out, but it's like, okay, yeah, but you got to give me a shirt for the guy that I knocked out too.
That's right.
We'll do it that way. It'll be like the fake fight in from SpongeBob SquarePants, that one. I don't know. Throw a SpongeBob reference in there. But yeah, no, I think shifting gears a little bit, obviously we talk a lot about, hardcore stuff going on there, but we're both dads. So, one of the things that's fun with this show is just connecting with other dads. We love this music, but obviously, we love our families. We want to be the best dads, best husbands we can possibly be. One of the things that, we talk about every once in a while, but it's been kind of a new thing, newer thing for me too, is just like when it comes to especially like mental health as a guy, I think, doing something physical to help bump up your emotional health as well. I think that's a big thing. Like even like going to shows, you go to shows and you're in the pit the whole time, you're just exhausted. But I think at the same time, like you kind of get that rush of adrenaline because you're working out, you're moving your body, you're slamming into people, you're dancing, you're doing all that stuff. We talked about August Burns Red last week, and Jake from August Burns Red also runs this organization called Heart Support. He opened up a gym called, I think it's Your Life Gym or something like that. But the whole thing is like kind of like mental health, and then incorporating like, being healthy physically with your mental health. And I remember listening to an interview with him once where he said that basically, like if you what they found is that people that work with their hands, they relax with their mind. Meaning, like if you've got a super physical job, you're out like in the sun or the cold every single day, building houses, doing road construction, whatever it is. It's like people like that relax with their mind. They come home, they want to chill, play some video games, just like sit back, watch a TV show. And then he said a lot of times the opposite is like if you work with your mind, you want to do the opposite. You got to you relax by doing things with your hands. Like, Jesse, you and I, like we work from home.
Yeah.
It's whether it's computer programming or it's doing online business and stuff like that. Like I sit around at home a lot, and my wife, I kind of got to this point where my wife was like, dude, she's like, you work from home by yourself all the time. You go to the gym, but she's like, you go to the gym by yourself all the time. She's like, you got to get out. You got to meet people. And one of the best things that I've done recently, as far as like physical health has gone, is she convinced me to join this class. Like she goes to this gym that has classes all throughout the week. And she's met some really great people there. And she's like, you got to go. And it's a High Rocks class. And I don't know if you're familiar at all with High Rocks. It's super trendy right now. We always joke that it's like CrossFit, but just less douchey. And I didn't make that up. Okay. I know there's some great people that do CrossFit, but it's super intense workouts, and they do like High Rocks competition. So I set this goal. Like I want to do a High Rocks competition next year. They do one here in Phoenix. And super intense. I'm super sweaty and sore by the end of it, but I have met some of the best people going there and like working really hard, having somebody push me, meeting good people. I've met like 3 guys now that are, we're going to start going to shows now because it's like, hey, what are you listening to? Or like, what's that shirt and stuff like that. So I don't know. I think it's been a big thing for me, going to the gym, having somebody push me, meet other people. And another thing too, a lot of times I think as guys, we struggle to go to the gym because like a lot of times there's a lot of talk about like, there's this pressure on women and there's pressure on our wives to look a certain way, but that's there for guys too. And people don't talk about that a lot, but there is that pressure like as guys. And I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, but like we got to earn money. We got to take care of the family. We got to do all that. But then it's like, you also need to look good, or you got to look a certain way. And so there's that pressure. But I think one of the things that switched, my mindset and made me in a much more positive mindset, mentally, emotionally, and, that kind of translated into physical, is switching that mindset of like, I need to go to the gym because like I'm overweight. I need, I don't like the way that I look. So I need to go to the gym so that I can like the way that I look to, I need to go to the gym just because I need to do something good for myself. And as soon as I did that, and as soon as I was like, okay, I'm getting rid of the number of pounds that I want to drop. I'm not weighing myself anymore. It's like, I'm going to go to the gym because it's good for me. I want longevity. I want to be around. I want to be healthy. I'm just going to do it because it's something that's good for me. I love myself, as cheesy as it sounds. It's like, I love myself, not I hate myself, and I want to go change it at the gym. That's been huge, at least for me recently. So shout out to Amp Fitness here in Mesa, Jared and Amanda who run that, and, all the friends that I've made there. It's been a ton of fun. It's been really cool.
Man, that's awesome. That's really cool. I can relate to that story in so many different ways. As far as getting out, I have this like funny experience. When we moved from Montana back down to Southern California, I was working remote fully at that time, and the house that we bought at the time had we have extra spare bedroom, and so I turned that into a full-time office. We decorated it for office desk, and then we had also bought a bunch of gym equipment during COVID because we were, those kind of people like, okay, we have to have a gym.
Yeah.
And so I've got a bench and we've got a Peloton, and so we built a home gym in our garage, which is awesome. And so then, I got into this routine where, a couple years ago, I was going into an office with people, talking with people, and then going to a gym. And we somehow got into this routine where I would wake up, I'd go to the gym in my garage, I'd go to work in the upstairs office.
Yeah.
I would get off of that, come downstairs, and now be home with the kids. And there was legitimately, I think I went 4 or 5 days without walking out the front door.
Crazy.
And it was like, I looked at Madison, I was like, I haven't put shoes on for 4 days.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know where my shoes are.
Yeah.
And it really messed with me kind of mentally. And I didn't realize it. And I'm a little bit more of an introvert by nature. Like I just like smaller groups of people, and I don't think everyone fits into all those boxes exactly. But I realized, man, like it's like a weird when you don't have those social connections, and all my connections are just little boxes on a screen.
Yeah.
And so I go to a gym here that I really like. There's a bunch of guys from my church that go there, and they kind of like, hey, come check us out.
Yeah.
And it's like a bros gym. It's like kind of nasty in the best way possible.
Yeah,
it's very clean, but it's like there's not a lot of cardio. It's tons of weights and benches and squat racks and tons of free weights.
Yeah.
And just ripped dudes lifting. And maybe some people get intimidated, but it's kind of motivating. You see that.
Yeah.
You see everyone lifting, and the nicest guys ever.
Yeah.
People spotting each other, and so it's a really fun, healthy environment in there. And then also, I've mentioned I started renting a remote office too.
Yeah.
And so there's other people in this office, and I mingle with them. They've got, meet and greet things I go to sometimes, but even just being in an office around people and, in the morning, grabbing coffee, whatever. It's been I think COVID and the lockdowns and whatever, it really had a bigger impact on a lot of us than we think. And
for sure.
And, getting a little bit of that normal back, or not, I don't know, normal because there's a new normal, but just interaction with people and getting out in public for sure.
No, you're totally right. And I remember when like the whole lockdown was happening with COVID and stuff like that, my wife and I were talking about the fact that like we kind of, now everyone's like, because people spread COVID to people, it's like now people are just the enemy. So it's like you found ways. It's like, oh, I can work and not be around people. Oh, I can go to the gym and not be around people. I can watch movies. I can order food. I can do all this stuff and I don't have to see a single soul. And I think that just like, I think eventually that does some damage to us, because I think like we are meant to be social people, like social creatures in this community. And I think that's a man bringing around to the whole dads who mosh thing, man. Like that's our big thing. Like the reason we get so excited about connecting with people on social media, whether it's like people from bands or people that are just like, you know, people that like this music or fellow dads or whatever, like they're like, we need each other. Like it's so fun to find people that like the same type of music. It's so awesome to have like a support group as dads that, you know, talk about this stuff. Like whether it's, you know, you're annoyed that you got to go to another hockey game, or like, you know, maybe your kids are struggling with stuff in school, man. And it's like, you need somebody to talk to. Like, I think just, I don't know, there's something about being around other people as much as possible that just, I don't know, there's something to it, I think, mentally.
Yeah, this is something that you'll only understand if you've spent time in the mosh pit. It's, you know, you go in there, you play the heaviest music. The lead singer will literally get up and say, knock somebody out and I'll give you a t-shirt. You swing your fists, you jump around, you jump on people, you crawl on people, and then the lights come on and everybody hugs.
It's all hugs, man.
Like it's hugs. It's, that was a sick move. It was, I got clobbered in the face. It was awesome. It's, is that a black eye? Like, it's crazy. And you know, the festival, it's you know, Furnace Fest, it's 2 days of that. You see the same people, and it's just all love, it's all hugs, and you're literally doing the most like violent thing besides like joining a boxing class, you know?
Exactly.
And so I think absolutely, I was thinking about Furnace Fest. I was thinking about that picture of the four of us took and it's like, this is what Dads Who Mosh is all about. It's coming together in person, hanging out, finding something common. And for us, it's heavy music, but I think dads need that. They need that community.
For sure.
It's so hard for adult dads and men right now to find friends and community.
It is. Yeah, no. And, you know, and maybe that's something too, we talk about, you know, more in future episodes, because I got a lot of thoughts about that. But yeah, I was talking with Jan about that the other day. She's like, I don't know, like girls just get along easy, you know, for the most part, you know, maybe they, you know, get mad at each other later on, you know, or wives, but yeah, I don't know, as guys, and I don't know if it's part of just like the macho mindset of like, I got to push through, I got to do this, you know, I don't need anybody. And then like behind closed doors, we're just like, you know, just like breaking down. But I mean, that's, you know, make things really somber too. Like that's, you know, like suicide rates in America with men are higher than they are with women. And I think like, and people are always surprised, you know, at those numbers, or surprised that happens with somebody. But it's like, I think guys struggle alone through a lot of things. And I don't know. I think the pit is a great place. Just like maybe you're not telling everybody what your struggles are, but it's like you put all of that stuff aside and you're just surrounded by people that get you. They're not like, what, you listen to this? Like, isn't that music is angry? That's scary music. You know, it's like, but they get it. They love it. You know, hugs all around at the end of it. So yeah, I don't know if you're listening to this and you're like, because I'm introverted too, I get it. There's days I just want to put my head down, get my stuff done, do what I need to do. Don't bother me. Sometimes we got to step out of our comfort zone a little bit. Introduce yourself to somebody, you know, that guy at the gym that's got the band shirt on that you recognize, you know, whatever it is, like introduce yourself, just have those little, you know, points of connection throughout your day. And I think I found, at least for myself personally, that makes a huge difference for me.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome. Well, I mean, because I got to go get my kids soon here, we should probably wrap it up with our weekly Dads Who Mosh playlist editions. What do you got for us this week, Jesse? And hopefully nobody, you know, downvotes it on YouTube.
That's right.
I can't imagine they would with this one. I mean, whatever. If they do, they're nuts.
So we've only got 2 songs on our playlist. Trying to build it out a little more. I thought a lot about this. I was considering trolling you and putting Missing Link, New York Minute on there, just to be like, you can't get away from this.
Even from a
manually made. No, totally.
That's right.
I did think about it. I was like, this would be so funny if I added this song. That would be funny. But I'm going to go with another classic. We've been talking about them so much. I just bought tickets. I'm on this kick now because, you know, you buy those tickets, you get all excited.
Yep.
I've got a sweater that have the lyrics to this song
Yep.
on the sweater.
Yep.
It's Terror, Keepers of the Faith.
Yep.
Love that song so much. Can't
Yep.
get enough of it. Just makes me want to two-step in the parking lot every time I hear it.
I know. Love Terror, man. Love that song. That song is so great. Yeah, same deal. I think I have a long sleeve that just says Keepers of the Faith. I mean, it's
Exactly.
every hardcore kid, you know, knows Terror, has a Terror shirt, knows Keeper of the Faith. Same with, you know, this other, you know, this my pick here. You know, most hardcore people are going to recognize the cover of this album. I put Converge here this week for my edition, and I went back and forth on which song by Converge to put, because like obviously Jane Doe is like their historic album, the groundbreaking album, the one that everybody talks about. They've had some albums come out that I think are almost as good. Some people make arguments that they're better than Jane Doe, but Jane Doe just is one of those that, like, when it came out, the time that it came out, it's burned in my mind. You know, the age I was, it's always going to be my favorite. And so I went back and forth on which song from Jane Doe to put on there, but I just ended up doing Concubine. It's the first song. It's what kicks it off. I think they close out a lot of shows nowadays with this song. It just encapsulates like the artistic chaos that is the album Jane Doe. It's like there's so many parts that you don't think are going to make sense, but then it just all comes together perfectly. The music, the way that they work it all together. That album is just legendary. And so yeah, I had to put another classic on there, and that's the one I chose was Concubine by Converge. So two good ones, two solid ones this week.
Let's go. I love it.
Love it. So awesome. Well, I think that's it this week. That's
good.
A
wrap.
That was good. Appreciate you guys listening. Appreciate you guys tuning in, and we'll be back again next week.
Sounds good. We'll catch you next week.
All right, later.